Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a new to me mini. It's not new, but it's a new mini system. As you know, I love the mini systems. If you're not new to the channel, you might have seen some of my other reviews of different mini systems. I love them basically because you get a bunch of games for a low price, plus typically you can add your own. Now this one's not mine. This one belongs to my brother Matt, but he loaded it. It's licensed by Atari, and it was developed and released by My Arcade. This one came from Costco. You can get them online at Amazon or the My Arcade website. So, with that stuff out of the way, let's look at what comes in the box. First of all, the box itself is nice and sturdy. I like that because basically I like to store my mini systems back in their boxes when they're not being used. I like the original box. This one's nice and sturdy, it's nice and colorful. Actually, opening up the box, you get the guide is right on top. It's in this little red box. You get the console itself. It's powered through USB-C, and it does include the power cable itself. It comes with an HDMI cable to hook up. It also comes with 2 wireless joystick controllers that I want to talk about in just a minute. Absent from the box, though, is a brick for the power cable. I guess we need to supply that for ourselves. The C64 Mini and the PlayStation Classic both excluded a brick for the power supply. You can buy one of these for less than $10 at any convenience store. I don't know why these guys just don't throw one in the damn box. It's kind of annoying to me. Let's look at these controllers. These controllers really impress me. They've got 3 buttons for game, one on the base, one on the top of the joystick, and a trigger button. When playing, you can feel their weight in your hands. And you can tell the stick itself is very sturdy. Although I didn't try it, it doesn't feel like these would break even if you dropped it pretty hard. These controllers really add to the overall experience of this entire system. Let's take a look at the actual system itself. First of all, the menus are very intuitive. They're easy to navigate, and basically if you press A on the base of the joystick, it will select whatever you are highlighting, whether that's a game or whether that's a type of game. You have Atari 2600, Atari 5200, Atari 7800, and additional games on it. They also put a menu just for multiplayer games, which is handy too. You also get arcade games, which is kind of interesting because when you play the arcade games, it is the arcade graphics back from the early or late 70s to early 80s. The system itself contains a lot of 2600 games, not so many Atari 5200 games, and a handful of 7800s. And the games are good as far as true to form. The emulation seems good and solid. All the games that I played on were, as I remember, there was no glitchiness. There was nothing that we actually set them apart from what I would expect from original hardware. So I think the emulation on this is good. The menus are, and the game selection is pretty good. There's over 200 games. Now the only thing I would have with games is that there are several iterations of summons. For instance, Asteroids, you can get it on the arcade, the 2600. Centipede appears on the 2600, the 5200, and the 7800. So there's 3 versions of Centipede. Does it really need to be? I would probably say no. In fact, I'm pretty emphatic about that. In fact, I find that this is the weakness of Atari is that they constantly lean on games that we've already played and just regurgitate them for whatever new system. They might have better graphics. They might have more levels, let's say, and they might go faster, run better, but it's the same old game. And really, I find that's one of the biggest weaknesses of Atari. When they bring out a new system or a new toy or anything to actually play video games on, they never bring out any news. It's always the same news. Also absent from this system, though, as far as games go, are some of their bigger games. And I'm thinking of things like Pitfall. Now, that was an Activision, and I noticed that there's not a lot of Activision games on this system. Most of these are Atari developed games. So there might have been a licensing issue with Activision as far as bringing this system out, so that didn't happen. But either way, Activision held really good titles for the Atari 2600s, and they brought games out from Atari 737. And either way, though, there are some games missing, and that's one. There are other ones that that should have been probably here, but that said, 200 plus games. The system itself is like $100, maybe $120. Here in Canada, I think it was $120 at Costco. You can get them for about that on Amazon. I've seen them less on Amazon, so you shop around, you might be able to get a deal. But certainly, if you get it used, you'll get a better deal. It is a good system, and besides the brick missing, and the fact that not all the games are their best games, at least some of the best games are missing from this. This is a solid system, and this holds up. If you like Atari, I would definitely get this system. It's a good entry into the Atari library. It gives you a cross-section of Atari games from various systems, leaning heavily on the 2600, but that was their most popular system. If people say Atari, that's usually what they mean is the 2600, not any other. But if you do like Atari, or want to get into Atari games, this would be a great entry. This would probably be better, dollar for dollar at least, than getting the 2600 Plus, which I know also plays the old 2600 cartridges that are still kicking around at pawn shops and good with these other places. But basically that system's about $150 in Canada, and it comes with 10 games, a 10 game cartridge. This one comes with 120 games. I'm not sure if you can hack it to add more games. I assume you can. This one's not mine, so I didn't even do that. But even if it was mine, I might not, because 200 games is a lot in any case. Even if it is missing some of those, that's okay. There are a lot of their bigger games on here. Yar's Revenge is on, Missile Command is on, and I mentioned Asteroids. A lot of their bigger games are actually present. It's just a lot of those Activision ones later in the 2600 life cycle, they're kind of missing, but that's all right. Like I said, if you like Atari or want to get into Atari, this is a great entry point. This is a great thing to get if you're nostalgic for Atari. Go out and buy it, because it does give you a lot of bang for you, and it is high quality, and the controllers are wonderful. Like I said, but the controllers really do give this an experience you don't normally get when you're playing one of these Atari systems. I have the AT Games, I think it's called Atari Flashback, and I've had nothing but problems with the controllers. You can feel that they're cheaply made, and they don't work with some of the games, even though I've probably used the damn thing maybe 3 hours of gameplay. The controllers are already failing. That's how bad. So this is not like that. I've played several hours on this system, more than the 3 that I played on my Flashback Gold. And the controllers are holding up, and like I said, you feel that they're just by holding. They've got that paddle stick, they got the paddle on there, so you can play paddle games, and 3 buttons, which basically is all you need for any of the games in the 2600 right up to the 7. If that's for the 2600, you're probably only going to ever need the one, and that's what most of the games are, is 2600s. So anyway, as far as a rank, if you watch my other video, the minis, where I paired the 5 mini systems that I gave each one of them a ranking out of 10. This one's kind of giving me some problems. I kind of want to put it at a 7 out of 10. I kind of want to put it at an 8 out of 10. The controllers, like I said, are so impressive. They are wireless, and of course the system itself is very high quality. The emulation is very well done. It kicks the crap out of things like the PlayStation Classic. They did forget the brick. It is really difficult for me to put a number on this, so I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I think that's right behind the Sega Genesis that in that video. I think I gave Sega Genesis in that video 8 out of 10. Mini system for that. So, like I said, if you don't have an Atari system, want to get one, want to get into Atari, this is your entry point. If you're nostalgic for Atari but don't want to get to 2600 Plus, because it will cost you more money to run, this is a great system. Do not make the mistake and buy the Flashback systems. They're garbage. This is high quality. Go with it. Go online and buy it from Amazon. Go online and buy it from the My Arcade site. Or if you know somewhere locally in your area, bricks and mortar store that carries them, yeah, I would definitely invest in it. Anyway, I appreciate you joining me for this video, this quick review, and I do appreciate you, and I do appreciate all my subscribers. So thank you for your subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.